Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the UFC 272 post-fight. I'm going to give my reaction to all the notable fights, mainly the main event, but there was a bunch of notable fights on this card. We're going to try to talk through all the results. I'm going to give you all my thoughts. I have some notes here. It was a long, long night of fights. I mean, there were some great fights on this card. The main event, it was very eventful. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but very eventful. And there were some shocks on this card too, for me at least personally. So before I get into anything, make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. If you have, I appreciate you. But if you haven't already, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps support the channel. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, if this is the first time finding my channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Okay, let's get into it. Guys, I'm not going to really be reading the chat right now because it distracts me too much to kind of go over my thoughts and analysis. But I'm going to try to, keep my thoughts and analysis of the card, under like 25 to 30 minutes. And then at the end of the stream or the second half of the stream, I'm going to try to read through all your guys' questions and comments. Do me a favor, French fries, Fast, Sean, keep an eye out for spammers. Keep an eye out for spammers or anybody doing anything weird, and take care of them if they do. So let's get into it. Colby Covington defeats Jorge Masvidal by decision. This was a pick that a lot of people decided to go with. A lot of people went with Colby Covington by decision. I don't make my picks off of, oh, well, this large amount of people picked him by this, so I'm going to pick him by this. I didn't pick him to be, a hipster or anything like that. I truly believed, and again, I thought it was a toss-up. I thought it was Jorge had to stop him in the first two rounds. If Jorge did not stop him in the first two rounds, I believed that Colby Covington would win a decision. I did not see Colby Covington getting a stoppage in any shape or form, but I just thought the openings were there for Masvidal to take advantage of Colby striking. I still kind of believe that, but Colby, obviously, the wrestling was just way too much. Just real quick, round by round, the first round wasn't too bad for Masvidal. He got taken down, but he was landing some good leg kicks. One thing I did not like, and one thing that now, I've been flipping back and forth on whether or not I believe that this rivalry is real or not. I think I'm convinced now it's real. There was a lot of illegal stuff going on in this fight. I mean, Jorge was throwing, as they were clinched up, elbows to the back of the head. Colby was like in on a takedown. Colby poked Jorge in the eye early. Jorge turned to the ref, complained. The ref didn't do anything. Colby sprinted in. He got a takedown basically off that eye poke. And that was basically the first round. I mean, Jorge did okay. But for the most part, Colby won that round 10-9. He didn't get off a lot of dominating ground and pound, but, he was able to control Jorge. Second round, I missed about a minute of it, 2 minutes of it, because ESPN Plus decided to go down mid-fight. It was right after a groin shot by Colby Covington in the clinch. But from what I saw in that round, it was very close. Masvidal had his moments. Masvidal was landing more leg kicks. It seemed like it was really affecting Colby. But Colby, landed some good shots of his own and was able to get Masvidal down and control him a bit. But again, I missed that minute of it. I didn't go back and watch it. Round 3 was a dominant round for Colby Covington. Basically, he just took Jorge down for the most of the round, controlled him in the ground. In this round, he was really landing some good elbows, some good shots. Throughout these rounds, there was a weird seated position where Jorge was kind of posted on one of his hands and then using the other hand to kind of defend, and Colby was looking for the rear naked choke, but he just could not find it. Jorge pretty much defended the rear naked choke all fight just by tucking his chin, and I was actually worried multiple times when he was in this position. I'm saying, is he going to give up his neck? But he kept his chin tucked. Jorge Masvidal is very hard to submit, and but Colby just dominated him in the third round. Could easily be a 10-8 round based on the new scoring. Colby won it pretty decisively. He landed some nasty ground and pound. Round 4 was Jorge's best round, in my opinion, and I believe you could give round 4 to Jorge, but it's very debatable. Jorge showed a little bit better takedown defense in this round. I don't know if it's because Colby was getting a little bit tired or what, but as that fourth round went on, Jorge was just kind of shucking him off against the fence. And Jorge wasn't circling out. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. He wasn't circling away from the fence because he was using the fence as a, way to defend the takedown. And in this round, Masvidal hurt Colby badly with a right hand. But just like the Leon Edwards-Nate Diaz fight, well, not just like it, Jorge wasn't able to swarm. Now, Nate Diaz chose not to swarm Leon for 10 seconds for whatever reason, but Jorge wasn't able to swarm Colby because of the gas tank, because of the grueling wrestling, because of the constant transitions, the constant Colby controlling him on the ground, the constant of Jorge trying to get back up. He was just too gassed. He didn't have enough energy, couldn't explode. I truly believe had it been a fresher Jorge Masvidal in that 4th round, had he landed that right hand, maybe he was able to get him the finish. In this round, though, I mean, Covington was landing nasty shots. At one point, he was swarming Jorge up against the fence. Must have landed a 20-punch combination. So that's why I think that round's debatable. I got to scratch my leg real quick, guys. I think that you could give the round either way to either guy, but I just felt like that right hand by Jorge was more impactful to the fight. But I could easily say give it to Colby too. He swarmed him up against the fence. He landed hard shots himself, but the one kind of dropped into a knee. So I kind of leaned Jorge Masvidal in that 4th round. 5th round, early takedown for Colby. Masvidal was tired. He expended what energy he had really in that 4th round. He looked gassed, and Colby took him down and controlled him. There was multiple transitions. Jorge didn't give up. He didn't look defeated. He tried to scramble back to the feet. But Colby's stamina is just next level, and he was able to control Jorge and even get him full mounted towards the end of that round and landing some good shots from that full mount. Jorge was still trying to escape, still trying to, scramble, but Colby just wasn't having it. He was floating around and just doing such a great job of controlling Jorge Masvidal, who I know everyone talks about. Oh, well, Jorge Masvidal's weakness is the wrestling and grappling. Jorge Masvidal is only really exposed like that against high-level grapplers, the elite of the elite grapplers. Kamaru Usman, Demian Maia, now Colby Covington. Colby Covington did what he was supposed to do in this fight, which was control Jorge Masvidal, beat him up on the ground, and on the feet, he did very well as well. And I know I talk about this all the time, so I know at some point it's almost like, how many times am I going to repeat myself when applying it to so many different fights? But Colby had so much success on the feet this fight because Masvidal was so worried about the takedowns. There would be moments where Jorge was up against the fence kind of, and Colby was just letting loose with combinations with the hands. He was landing good, hard strikes, and it was all because Masvidal was getting ready for the takedown. And Masvidal did a decent job defending some takedowns throughout this fight, but Colby is relentless, and his ability to be relentless is backed up by his unlimited cardio. So he really went out there, put on a great performance. He dominated Jorge Masvidal. I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, well, Jorge's washed, Jorge's stamina let him down in this fight. Jorge's grappling weakness let him down in this fight. And Colby was just a better man. I just really, I still, when I gave you guys my pick of Jorge Masvidal, I never liked to sit on the fence. But I said, I was 55-45 Jorge Masvidal. And that prediction was based off, I thought Masvidal would find that kill shot. And Masvidal, at every turn, he was trying to land hard shots. Again, he was throwing those illegal elbows early on. And throughout the fight, he just wasn't able to keep Colby off him enough to have success. He had some moments. He had some great body kicks. He threw some heavy head kicks. I think they were majoritarily blocked by Colby Covington. And Colby's threat of his takedown was giving him the ability to win on the feet. And that's exactly what happened. There was moments where Jorge Masvidal had openings to throw shots, but he was too busy with his hands down here waiting to stuff the incoming shot that then Colby Covington was just letting loose with combinations, get Jorge Masvidal's hands to go back up, and then boom, shoot on the takedown. Colby did a great job closing the distance in this fight, using his hands to set up the takedown. And supposedly, a lot of people were talking about, and Jorge Masvidal must have got wind of it too, and I talked about it at the weigh-ins. Masvidal mouthed to Colby or said to Colby off mic at the weigh-ins, did you get those quarter zone shots in your legs? And when somebody's injured like that, that rumor gets around. And I don't feel like Masvidal would just say that out of the blue. And I know Masvidal tends to throw leg kicks, but the way he came out just blasting heavy leg kicks lends me to believe that Colby might have had this dominant performance with potentially a injured leg, which is insane to me. I don't want to be Joe Rogan speculating everybody's hurt, this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt. But the fact that he went out there and potentially did this on an injured leg is insane to me. Is absolutely insane to me. I hope everything's all right. It just showed some things. It should be fixed. Should be fixed. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Of course, now this is throwing me off. Now this is throwing me off. Okay, we should be good. I don't know why. I had some type of issue where it was disconnecting. But I should be good now. I think it should be good now. Let me just double check. Yes, okay, it's good. Yeah, but Colby potentially went out there and did this with an injured leg. And that's something that is worth noting. I don't know if it's going to be 100% accurate. Colby hurt Masvidal at least once within this fight. I can't remember the entire fight. But essentially, Colby went out there and did what he's supposed to do. And this was a must-win performance. A must-win performance, in my opinion. If he lost, then he sits in a two-fight losing streak. One being against Kamaru Usman, and then he's won 1 out of his last 4. Masvidal's not in a great place either. Let me pull up the rankings real quick, and I want to see what could I potentially see for the future of both these guys. Because I like to talk about that a little bit. Because it was a must-win for both these guys. It was a must-win for Jorge Masvidal. It was a must-win for Colby. And it ended up where Colby came out on top, 50-45. I think one judge scored it 49-46, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might have even been a 50-46. I don't remember. But either way, Colby won this fight pretty handedly. And, I don't know where his future is, having 2 losses to Kamaru Usman. But if I was Colby right now, Colby called out Dustin Poirier in the post-fight. And Dustin Poirier fights at lightweight, but he's talked about going to 170 and staying at 170. That's a big fight. They have the former history. I think it's a very winnable fight for Colby. What is Dustin's weakness? It's the grappling. Dustin always has an issue with being taken down and then ended up being submitted. Now, I don't think Colby's going to take him down and submit him, but I think Colby will be able to beat Dustin Poirier and be able to control him in a fight. So that's a great fight to angle for, especially considering he knows that, he's not going to meet a lot of resistance in that fight. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Colby's taking the smart route there. For me personally, what I would do is you have Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat, right? You have Leon Edwards versus Usman. I wouldn't mind seeing Colby fight either the loser of one of those fights, so he could either fight Usman if he loses to Leon, or Leon, I guess Usman, if Usman lost to Leon, Usman's probably rematching Leon, depending on the situation with Khamzat. But let's say Leon loses to Usman, I'd like to see Colby versus Leon, or Colby versus the loser of Burns versus Chimaev. I think that'd be a great fight. Let me take a drink real quick, guys. Guys, if you haven't already, like the stream. Like the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, I will be answering all your guys' questions towards the second half of this stream. So let me just get through some of these fights. But I wouldn't mind seeing Colby fight the loser of either of those 2 fights, or potentially the winner of Vicente Luque Bilal Muhammad. I would not mind those fights. I think the UFC is going to try to put together Colby versus Dustin. I don't think Dustin wants that fight. I think he probably knows, arguably he's the undersized guy there. A lot of people are saying, Dustin's bigger than Colby because Colby doesn't cut much weight. I still think Colby's the bigger guy. I think he's going to be the stronger guy. He's clearly the better wrestler. I don't think that is a fight that Dustin Poirier is going to want. As far as Jorge has to angle for a Conor McGregor fight or a Nate Diaz fight. Something along those lines. I don't know what else he's going to angle for. I don't know. Nobody's going to want to see him against Gilbert Burns. He's probably going to lose the same way. if Leon Edwards loses, I wouldn't mind seeing Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. I think that's the fight to make. Keep an eye out for Usman versus Leon, and if Leon loses, I think that is the fight to make for Jorge instead of Colby. Okay, let's move on to the co-main event because I don't want to spend too much time. I want to get to your guys' questions. This was basically a one-sided beatdown for Rafael dos Anjos. Moicano looked okay early, and I got to applaud Moicano's grit, and I got to applaud Moicano's cardio, because even in the 5th round, he still had decent cardio. So he came to this fight in shape. So a 5-round fight. I think it was a massive mistake. The UFC originally had this as a headliner for for a fight night, a couple weeks ago. It was supposed to be Rafael dos Anjos versus Rafael Fiziev. And then Fiziev had a visa issue, so they had to move the fight to UFC 272, and they kept it 5 rounds. But then when Fiziev pulled out, why are you making a short notice replacement fighter fight for 5 rounds? That doesn't make any sense. And basically, RDA just out-grappled him. Outstruck him, out-grappled him. Moicano had some moments. The 4th round was utter dominance. He was wrecking Moicano on the ground. And I thought going into the 4th round, no, the 3rd round, actually, so that was what happened in the 4th round. The 3rd round, I thought it should have been stopped. He hurt him badly. I think it was on the feet. Then he followed him to the ground, started wrecking him on the ground. At one point, he was out on the ground, in my opinion. And I thought Marc Goddard could have stepped in with ease. I thought that Moicano was out. But Moicano was just constantly trying to scramble. It was a flash KO. His hands were like kind of over here, not moving. And then all of a sudden, he started moving around. And he did just enough for him not to stop it. Then after the 4th round, where he was taken down, dominated some more, I really thought either after the 4th round or after the 3rd round, the corner, the ref, or the doctor should have saved Renato Moicano. And I know people in the 5th round, it seemed like RDA had took his foot off the gas, whether that was a conscious decision or whether that was his cardio kind of wearing down because he had significant output. It's one of those things where Moicano landed some shots maybe in the last minute or so, and he had a decent 5th round. You could arguably give it to Moicano in the 5th round. People are going to use that. See, a fight's a fight. Anything can happen. I just think it was super unnecessary damage for Renato Moicano. I think Marc Goddard failed him. I think the ringside physician failed him. And I think most ultimately his corner failed him. And the corner was not only not willing to stop the fight, the corner I saw actively in an exchange with Marc Goddard in between rounds, basically saying, don't you dare stop it. And then Marc Goddard, talks to the doctor. The doctor says, I think it's reasonable to stop it, but he can see out of the eye. And then he tells Moicano, well, you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to show me something. Otherwise, I'm stopping the fight. What? That's not how this works, bro. You stop a fight either when a fighter's taken too much damage and, he can no longer continue, or he's not reasonably defending himself. You can't say, well, you got to start winning the fight in 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm stopping it. That's not how it works, dude. So, and also after 30 seconds, he was losing still. And he didn't stop the fight. He wasn't being bludgeoned there, but he still didn't stop the fight. What is going on there? Marc Goddard failed him. The corner failed him. Great performance by RDA. Wouldn't mind the Islam Makhachev booking. How crazy is it Moicano used to fight at 145? I mean, the guy looked huge in this fight. It was a catchweight of 160. RDA deserves a big fight. I would prefer they either book the Islam Makhachev fight or they rebook the Rafael Fiziev fight. Who doesn't want to see the battle of the Rafas? Moving down to the featured fight on the card. And by the way, on the co-main event, I had RDA. I thought RDA was better everywhere. I think RDA was super well-rounded. And, having Moicano come in on short notice, it just wasn't conducive to a potential win for Moicano. Okay, so at that point, I'm going to move to the featured fight on the card. And this one I could have not gotten more wrong. Bryce Mitchell versus Edson Barboza. I really thought this was a massive step up for Bryce Mitchell, and it was a massive step up for Bryce Mitchell. I was very high on Edson Barboza. I think Edson Barboza is still very good. I know he's getting up there in age. He's slowing down a little bit, but he's still a very, very good fighter. I think he's an elite featherweight. I don't know. Now it's start to, you start to question, how much of it was Bryce's ability and how much of it is Edson Barboza starting to, end up on the decline. Not trying to take anything away from Bryce Mitchell, because he came out here, he rocked Barboza. Barboza started landing some great inside leg kicks on Bryce Mitchell early, but eventually Bryce with the forward pressure, I think it was let me see if I took a note here. He rocked him with the left hand. He landed a picture perfect left hand. Took him down, controlled him from there. Not a lot of significant ground and pound, especially in that first round, but just controlling Edson, wearing on his gas tank, making him try to scramble to get back to his feet. And Barboza just really couldn't do nothing. Second round, more leg kicks from Barboza. This time, Bryce Mitchell catches it, takes him down, controls him on the ground, and just, not crazy, nothing real significant as far as ground and pound. And also, Barboza really had no urgency in this fight. In the third round, same thing. Barboza gets pressured, taken down early, and controlled on the ground. And for the majority of these exchanges, I think Barboza got to his feet one or two times throughout this fight. But Bryce Mitchell was just too determined. The forward pressure, the takedowns. He wasn't landing a lot of significant ground and pound until I think it was the third round. I think it was the middle to the end of the third round. And Bryce was throwing good elbows, some good ground and pound. Barboza was fading more, and Bryce was really looking for a finish. He just wasn't able to find it. I thought if he would find the finish, he would find a submission, but he was not able to find it. Barboza's still super durable, but the gas tank looked very suspicious because Barboza's gone 5 rounds before. I knew going into this fight, and I picked Edson Barboza. I was confident that Edson Barboza was just going to wreck him on the feet. I knew coming into this fight that Bryce Mitchell's strengths were Edson Barboza's weaknesses, but I thought they were on two totally different levels. So Bryce Mitchell, massive performance, massive step up in competition against Edson Barboza. And I can't wait to see who Bryce Mitchell fights next. And again, I'm probably going to do a matchmaker for this card in general. But just a quick fantasy matchup. Who wouldn't love to see Bryce Mitchell versus Brian Ortega? And I know that's a massive step up. I know we're probably getting Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez, but who wouldn't love Bryce Mitchell versus Brian Ortega? That's a fun stylistic matchup. But great win for Bryce, moves up the ranking. Not particularly, for me, not particularly an amazing performance, but you're fighting a guy like Edson Barboza. It's not gonna be super easy to finish the guy, but Bryce Mitchell gets a big win over a legitimate opponent. He has a decent resume, decent name on his resume now. So moving down the card, Holland versus Oliveira. The first round was very competitive. I think that both guys landed great leg kicks in the first round. There was that crazy scramble at the end of the first round where Oliveira almost ended up with a rear naked choke. Then in the second round, we had, because the first round I scored 10-9 Oliveira. I did not expect Oliveira to win this fight. I did not get out a prediction video for this. Second round, Kevin Holland lands a nasty right hand. Oliveira's legs were a little bit weird. He ate some heavy leg kicks, but Kevin Holland ate some heavy leg kicks too. There was a couple leg kicks from Alex Oliveira that dropped Holland, but Holland lands a nasty right hand in the second round, follows him to the ground, just starts cocking back with some of the nastiest right hands. Over and over and over. Oliveira starts to kind of grab and reach and control the right arm, and then he starts throwing nasty elbows. Oliveira's blocking the majority of them, but he's just not defending himself, and eventually the referee steps in. Moving down the card, Greg Hardy. I wanted to do a prediction video for this fight. I would have picked Greg Hardy. I thought Sergey Spivak's head movement was awful. I thought Greg Hardy was huge, had power, and I thought he would find the knockout. I thought if he did not knock him out in the first round, he'd get controlled on the ground and taken down. Greg Hardy came out with some decent leg kicks. And eventually then, Spivak tied up with him, took him down. Greg Hardy was trying to power up repeatedly. But then Spivak just tore him back to the ground. And eventually he got the full mount and just started bashing Greg Hardy's brains in. And Greg Hardy had nothing to offer, and the referee stopped it. Great win by Spivak, but it's the last fight on Greg Hardy's contract. I don't know. I don't think the UFC is going to re-sign him, which is just, it's crazy how many main cards that guy's been on, and it's crazy how long he's been in the UFC. Greg Hardy's super active though, so maybe they give him another chance. I don't know. Moving down the card a little bit. Let's see, what other fights do I want to look at? We looked at the entire main card, and then I want to get to your guys' questions. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat. I will get to the questions as soon as I possible. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Okay, so I did want to look at Marina Rodriguez. Well, first off, ahead of that, we'll talk about Jalin Turner versus Jamie Mullarkey. I had Jalin Turner in this fight. Phenomenal performance by Jalin Turner. Just looked crisp on the feet, landing great shots, just stinging Jamie Mullarkey. I think it was towards the end of the first round. Jamie Mullarkey got a takedown. Didn't do much with it. End of the round, they go back out there. Jalin Turner just starts landing nasty strikes on the feet yet again. I can't remember the exact finishing sequence on that. And for some reason, I did not mark it down here in my notes. So I don't remember exactly what happened there. But he hurt him with the hands badly. I think he ended up going to the ground and just ground and pounding him for the finish. But either way, Jalin Turner looks phenomenal in this fight. He looks so comfortable. He was using all his attacks. The jab was nice. The straight punches were nice. He was doing everything right and looked excellent in this fight. Can't wait to see where Jalin Turner goes from here. Marina Rodriguez, Yan Xiaonan. Very close competitive fight. I think the first round was Yan Xiaonan. Second round was very, very close, but I gave it to Marina Rodriguez, but I could have easily gave it to Yan Xiaonan. Third round, I thought it was a clear Marina Rodriguez round. She was just picking her apart on the feet. Yan Xiaonan started to slow down, and then, she was just really picking her apart in that third round. I think throughout the fight, Yan landed the harder strikes. I think she had, I think she was a little bit faster, especially early on. But as time started to go on and she started to get a little bit tired, a little bit more output, Marina Rodriguez started to catch up on the feet. It ended up being a 29-28 decision win for Marina Rodriguez, which I agreed with. I can't remember if that was a split decision or not, and I don't see it here anywhere on the results. So, but either way, a high-level women's strawweight fight, and I can't wait to see Marina Rodriguez goes from here. She's right up in title contention. I would love to see Marina Rodriguez versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And it's sad that fight was buried on the prelims. Another fight I want to talk about because I got this prediction absolutely perfect. We had Umar Nurmagomedov versus Brian Kelleher. In this fight, Umar just showed that he's so good. I mean, he was throwing lightning fast strikes. He landed some good head kicks. Eventually, he took Brian Kelleher down. They were in a clinch position, kind of dragged him to the ground. I think he had the body lock. Lightning fast rear naked choke. One hook in, up against the fence. I predicted first round rear naked choke for Umar Nurmagomedov. So when I get one exactly right, I got to tout it a little bit. Great performance by Umar Nurmagomedov. And a great step up in competition. Brian Kelleher is not an elite guy, but he's a veteran who is decent competition. And it was a great next step for Umar Nurmagomedov. Let me see if there's anything else I want to just quickly touch on. Then I'll get to all your guys' questions. Tim Elliott, great win. Cheating, grabbing inside the gloves. Ľudovít Klein, great performance. Just outstruck Devontae Smith for the majority of the fight from what I remember. And one more we'll talk about real quick. Marina Moroz versus Mariya Agapova. I think it's how you actually say her name. It's not Agapova. Went out there, just controlled on the ground. Agapova had nothing to offer on the ground. Once she was there, she was stuck there. And eventually, Moroz got the rear naked choke in the second round. Great performance, but I don't think either one of these girls is going too far in the flyweight division. Either one of them, I don't think they're going to go particularly far. It's just kind of the strawweight division or the flyweight division. When you have a dominant champion like Valentina Shevchenko, and you start to compare them to some of these, other fighters coming up the ranks, it's hard to get hyped about them because it's hard to see them winning. Okay, guys, fill the chat up with questions. We did about 31 minutes just giving you guys some reaction and analysis. Now we're going to get to all your guys' questions. Let me see if I can read through. I'm going to start from the top. Fight Life said he went 5 for 5 on the main card. Had an okay betting night. Won some, lost some. Agapova were my missed picks. Agapova was atrocious. Never again. What did I go on the main card? I did terrible on the main card. Overall, I did decent. But on the main card, I did bad. So let's see. On the main card, I got that one wrong, that one right, that one wrong. I went 2 and 3 on the main card. Yeah, I got 2 right. I got Kevin Holland right and Rafael dos Anjos. On the entire card, let's see what I went. I'll check real quick. On the entire card, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. So I went 8 and 5 on the entire card. I posted my full card picks on Instagram if you guys are wondering. By the way, guys, if you don't follow me yet on Twitter, on Instagram, it's at MMAJoeyC. Okay, let's read some of this chat here. Let's see what we got. Let's switch it to live chat and let's scroll up. I'm just going to go up and I'm just going to start wherever the chat. Sometimes it eliminates some of it. I don't think Barboza can handle the high-level grapplers. Obviously, he cannot. I did not think that Bryce Mitchell was that high level of a grappler. America Tap Team don't want no smoke from Chaos. Colby's calling out the smaller fighter pretty silly. I guess when you already lost to the champion twice, you ain't got much, of a place to go. Greg Hardy getting cut. I agree. Colby could beat Khamzat. Fair enough. Colby versus Poirier is pointless. Even with the win, he's not closer to a title shot. I think neither one of those guys is ever going to win a belt again. I know they're both former interim champions. But nope. I wonder how this card sold. I would love to know the answer to that. How many pay-per-view buys did this card get? Let's see. Hold on. Let me get another drink. My mouth's getting dry, guys. Dos Anjos was shooting for the legs all night. Sure enough. He was getting deep on some of those takedowns. Moicano actually had some decent takedown defense. Jorge versus Conor is a very legit fight. Jorge may be favored. But Conor could take it. That would be a fan-friendly fight. I think that's the fight to make. If the UFC makes Holland versus Shavkat, I'll be shocked. Dude, Shavkat would probably ragdoll Holland. Poirier will talk the talk, but won't walk the walk. Inbred loss, best day of my life. Fair enough. Or I didn't really care. To be honest, I didn't really care who won. If it was Jorge, that was fine. If it was Colby, if anything, I leaned towards Jorge just because I picked him. But personally, I didn't really care. I got Holland second round TKO right in my predictions. Fair enough. Waste of 2 rounds of MMA. Should have never been 5 rounds. I'm assuming that's about the RDA Moicano fight. I agree 100%, and I'm still disgusted with the doctor, the corner, and the ref for not stopping it. People say Islam would expose these top-ranked guys, but don't want to give him a title shot. Fair enough. I think Islam should be fighting for a title next, but if Dariush can return sooner or later, I might as well book them back up. Winner gets a title shot. In my opinion, Colby derails the Khamzat hype train. I disagree. Tim Elliott definitely deserved that win. I agree. Hasn't beaten a single top 5 opponent in ducked RDA. Leon stayed for Khamzat 3 times, and they still put Jorge in front of him. I don't think he's ducking anyone. I mean, if anything, I get it that he said he would take this fight and then didn't, but he signed the contract to fight multiple times. Also, Mitchell surprised the hell out of me. I agree, me too. Khabib was screaming. Khamzat will maul Colby. Fair enough. I don't know about mauling, but I think he wins. I still don't like Colby striking. I think Colby striking is terrible, and I think it's masked a lot by the takedown threat. Hate when I don't have anything to complain about. 11-2 on my picks. Great. People always find stuff to complain about in MMA. It's always annoying. I predicted 8 out of 13. That's what I did. Mitchell versus Tim Elliott. No, they're not even in the same weight class. All my picks right against except Greg Hardy. Okay. Barboza looked hopeless. Yes, he did. He looked like that in the Khabib fight. But I think a lot of people in the commentators are a little bit crazy comparing Bryce Mitchell to Khabib Nurmagomedov. So far, I've gotten 59 fights right and 25 wrong. Not too bad. I thought Elliott looked great. I picked Tagir. I picked Elliott. What's a Tapology? Can you talk about Turner a bit? Yeah, Jalin Turner looked amazing. The striking looked crisp. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see who he fights next. I mean, he looked so impressive tonight. He He looks, I mean, I know the commentary team said this, and I feel like I'm regurgitating it, but exactly what they said is correct. He literally looked so comfortable in there. He was just throwing just picture perfect shots, and he's in that stacked lightweight division that could use some of that fresh meat. Let me look up to see if I can figure out a fight for him next, real quick. MMA World Rankings. It gives like a top 50, but he looks so good, and I'd like to see him, against a high level grappler, but we don't even need that next. Let's take a look. I wonder where he's currently ranked on this website. This is the website I go to when I'm looking for fighters outside the top 15. But Jalin looks super impressive. I'm trying to see. I would guess he's around like the 30 to 40 mark. Jalin Turner. You know what would be a great fight for Jalin Turner? And now he's on he's on a 4-fight win streak. Not fought a lot of great competition, but look at the losses. Not bad losses to have. Matt Frevola and Vicente Luque. The other one was so long ago, I'm not even going to mention. I don't even know who that guy is that he lost to. But looks so crisp on the feet. His last 4 wins are all by stoppage. 2 TKOs and 2 submissions. Jamie Mullarkey's no easy fight. Jimmy Mullarkey is not an easy guy to put away, and he went out there and stopped him. I'm super impressed with Jalin Turner. I'm going to try to find him a quick opponent. I make a matchmaker video with everyone. I don't know yet. There's so many great fights. I would love to see Jalin Turner versus Mason Jones. I would love to see Jalin Turner. This is probably not going to happen, but Terrence McKinney's fighting Drew Dober. I would love to see Jalin Turner versus Terrence McKinney. That'd be a great fight. Maybe a Jim Miller fight. Feed him Jim Miller. Or feed Jim Miller to him, one or the other. That would be a great test. Jim Miller's sitting currently at number 30 on this website. And we have Jalin Turner that's sitting at about 46. But I think he should probably jump over Matt Frevola. I think he'd beat Matt Frevola in today's day and age. Mason Jones would be an interesting fight to have 2 prospects. There's a lot of options. You could even do like a John McDessie fight. John McDessie's a decent veteran. You could really test him against. I think that'd be a lot of fun as well. So, Topology, okay. Elliott looked good in the last round. Had moments in the second. That's all. Dope, I'll have to look into it. Holland definitely belongs in welterweight for sure, and he looked jacked at welterweight. I thought Elliott lost the round 3, round 1, and 2. So you basically thought he lost all the rounds. Okay, fair enough. I don't remember which rounds I scored for who. Let me see if I have it in my notes. I don't have it. I don't remember. Elliott looked great in rounds 1 and 2. As the fight progressed, favored Tagir, and Elliott had the knockdown in the earlier rounds, which made it more clear. Joey was right about Umar. Thank you. I get a lot wrong, but sometimes I get them right too. Holland didn't want to be at welterweight because of all the wrestlers. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have, championship level success. You got Gilbert Burns, Hamzat, Colby, Usman, and probably others that I'm not even thinking of off the top of my head. Maybe I was looking away every time Tim Elliott did something good. I don't know what to say. Marina, would you have won more dominantly in a 5-round fight? Yes, it was split decision. I thought Tagir got the draw. Well played, Joe. I don't know what was well played, but thank you, Marlo. If every fight you have is a close fight, you're eventually going to lose the decision, so Tagir has no one to blame but himself. Fair enough. Yeah, a Russian wasn't going to win a decision. I don't believe in that. They're just scoring the fight. Let's see. Spivak is good. He already has a win over Ty, but also lost to Aspinall. He has no head movement. In my opinion, Colby is way too good. Fair enough. If I'm Jorge, I'd go for another Nate Diaz fight. Money. Grab that ride into the sunset. I think they should rebook RDA and Rafael Fiziev. I agree. Who doesn't want to see the battle of the Rafas? 1 second. 1 second. Let's continue. I did see. Hold on. Bryce beats Yair, Cater, Giga, and Arnold. Okay, I think we're getting a little carried away here. I think we're getting massively carried away here. He beat Barboza. Come on. I'm high on Barboza. But come on, guys. To say that he would beat all those elite guys, I think you're getting a bit of your head of yourself. Bryce Mitchell, I know the commentary team and some people, on Discord and the members Discord, like to pretend that Bryce Mitchell showed some type of Habib Nurmagomedov level performance tonight, but by no means was that. I mean, the ground and pound was not the greatest ground and pound. I'm not trying to sit here and shit on him, but come on, guys. We have to pump the brakes. Every time a guy gets a decent win, we can't pretend he's the second coming of one of the greatest fighters at a different weight class just because, oh, well, Bryce Mitchell beat the same guy that Habib beat, 28 years ago when the guy was closer to his prime, and now we think he's just as good, even though he didn't do it as good when the guy's much older. So I think we got to pump the brakes on that. I don't think Bryce beats Kelleher. He definitely doesn't beat Kelleher. The Giga fight would be interesting. The Giga fight would be very interesting because Giga doesn't do well with pressure, but I think the striking would be too good. The Yair fight would be interesting too because Yair does have those grappling deficiencies. And the Arnold fight, I think he could beat Arnold. But I think, come on, guys. To sit here and act like it's a foregone conclusion that Bryce is going to be a champion, he definitely doesn't beat Volkanovski. And I don't think he beats Max either. I think Max beats him up, and I think Bryce has some moments, but we'll see. Hamzat would ragdoll Holland. Agreed. So would Shavkat. Jorge had the opportunity to finish Colby and left him off the hook. He didn't have the gas. He didn't have the gas tank. Burns is going to derail Hamzat next month at UFC 273. I am hyped. I am hyped for that. UFC 273 should be fun. I might even, you know what, guys? I might even decide to stream that card. That's how hyped I am for that card. I might decide to stream it. So maybe we can raise enough money via Super Chat to pay for UFC 273, and then I have to stream it. So if you guys, I've got to figure out a way to start like a donation goal for UFC 273, and if I get enough donations to pay for the pay-per-view, I'll do a live stream for the pay-per-view and still do the live post-fight as well. But it's hard to remember. Tim Elliott cheated. Yes, he did. 75% of the fights tonight had some sort of cheating going on, not just Elliott. One thing I did want to complain about, because I was complaining live in my living room, Edson Barboza was putting his toes in the fence and grabbing onto him to try to use them for leverage. It didn't help him, but it still pissed me off, and I was screaming, he's got his toes in the fence. Do something, ref. Jamie hurt Jalin and still won, and he still won. Yeah, didn't he clip him once in the first round? Yeah, he did clip him. Jalin was landing good. He rushed in a little bit, and he got clipped. I forgot to mention that. Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green. That's fun as hell. Burns will get submitted in the first round. The MMA Joey main event pick is down to 72. Next bet will most likely be Ankalaev, who is a negative 400 favorite. That's good for 760. Damn it. Jamie and Jalin both hurt each other, but Turner wasn't nearly as wild as Jamie was. Agreed. Usman said he would relinquish the BMF title for the main event tonight. Usman said he would relinquish the BMF belt. Chaos is your new BMF champ. No, he's not. Dana White just confirmed Hamzat versus Gilbert Burns is a #1 contender fight. Don't run now. That's awesome. Bryce would smash Giga. Thug nasty hater. Not at all. I'm not a thug nasty hater at all. You think Colby? And it's funny. I find Hank Hill particularly funny. And we talked about this in the members Discord tonight, and it's all friendly. But Hank Hill sits here and talks so much shit about Islam Makhachev. And I know they're different divisions, and I know they're different guys, but they have a very similar style, and I think Islam Makhachev is the more exciting, better version of Bryce Mitchell, or vice versa, however you want to put it. Islam has better BJJ, he has better domination, top control, and he has better submissions. He has a better submission threat than Bryce Mitchell, but yet you gobble up them Bryce Mitchells. I'm not even going to say it, and then you hate Islam Makhachev. It's so weird to me. But sure, you can pretend he's the second coming of Habib Nurmagomedov, but we will have to agree to disagree on that, and we'll see. Thoughts on Habib going into the Hall of Fame? I mean, I guess he's never returning anyway. So, well, Joey the fraud. This man said Barboza was easy money and faded his scam predictions again. Joey hates Bryce for no reason and cost his subs money. Dude, chill. This is the type of guy that needs to be timed out. This is I mean, dude, come on. I'm not getting you to lose any money. You're just listening to me. It is what it is. And I thought Barboza was easy money, but it doesn't matter. I'm not an expert. You got to decide on your own what you're doing. Joey watching Mitchell pound at Edson with the exact same pair of eyes, watching Islam hitting Bobby's gloves and wrists, and daring to say Islam has better ground and pound is hilarious. Oh yeah, because I didn't realize, Cyber, ground and pound was dictated off of one fight each. So you just have to choose one fight, and that's what dictates somebody's skill set. So I guess Colby doesn't have a good jaw because he got stopped in the first Usman fight. It doesn't make sense. That's absolutely zero. That's a non-statement right there. You can't pick out, one performances and say, okay, well, this guy has this. You have to look at the totality. Much respect to Bryce. I agree. People like hating on Islam. What's the main event for 273? Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie. Thug Nasty would eat everyone at featherweight. Fair enough. I can't wait to see him try. It makes sense now that Colby was begging for fights for 3 years now for this fight. Yeah, of course. He knew he was going to win it, I guess. Islam made me less of a fan, that's for sure. Why? Because Bobby Green covered up and did nothing for 30 seconds? The dude wasn't moving at all. So, yeah, come on now. Come on, man. Fiziev would walk through RDA. I would pick Fiziev. I picked Fiziev in this one. I had a prediction video for members only. I think Burns beats Colby Jorge easy. And pretty much everyone at welterweight except Usman and Hamzat. I would agree with that probably. Fries, Islam's ability to control opponents is sublime, but won't sit here and lag that his ground and pound is anywhere near his ground control. Realistically, Khabib's style of ground and pound is similar. If you're saying Islam's ground and pound is the same as Khabib's, then you're disconnected from reality. Khabib has some of the nastiest ground and pound in the game, and I wouldn't say Islam's near that level. It's your choice on who you bet on. Don't blow Joey for your failure. He's not telling you who to bet on. He's simply telling you who he's choosing to win. Thank you, Card Hobbyist Breaks. Appreciate you. New BMF champ, Colby Covington. Colby is greater than Khabib. Khabib is a weight bully. And Colby bullies people who weigh 20. No, I don't believe that. I don't buy in that. So you know what? This guy, Anon, goodbye to you, my friend. Goodbye to you. Islam showed his improved ground and pound skills in the last fight. I think he took the criticism to heart when people said he's not aggressive like Khabib. Sure enough. Well, also, Islam's getting more stoppages than Bryce, regardless if you want to talk about the ground and pound. It makes you wonder who Bryce trains with in Arkansas. I don't think he has better BJJ than Thug Nasty. He has better wrestling. I think he definitely has better BJJ. But that's up for debate, so either we can agree to disagree. Should Jorge retire? No, he can definitely get some money fights. Jorge is a bitch. How are you going to hold the BMF belt and not put it on the line against Colby because he doesn't deserve it? It's a fake belt. It doesn't mean anything. If the BMF belt was real, then Usman's got it because he destroyed both of them at some point in time. Islam is very good but fights Burns. I don't think Bryce is a champ, but it was clearly easy money for Mitchell. It's easy to say that, It's easy to say that, but it is what it is. Colby will gas you out with even throwing a punch. Best fighter in the UFC. Islam never displayed good ground and pound, let alone ground and pound ever in his career except for the Bobby fight. Okay, whatever you say. For everyone saying Jorge should retire, he just signed a new deal with the UFC. He doesn't have to fight out his contract, but he will. It's probably a lucrative deal. Do you think Colby deserves to be pound for pound top 15? Pound for pound is so subjective. Maybe. I would probably rank him above Whitaker, honestly. But I think Whitaker beats him, though, if he comes back down to 170. So, no, I wouldn't rank him above Whitaker. He'd be very close. Let me put it that way. He'd be very close. He's very, very good. His gas tank is unbelievable. I see you found a new home. What does that mean? I'm everywhere, brother. Khabib has similar grappling style to Mitchell. Not the same effectiveness, no. Not even remotely close. What is the ceiling for Dustin Jacoby at light heavyweight? Is there anyone in the top 15 you think he can beat? Great question, my friend, but I think the answer is going to be no. No. Maybe Ian Cutelaba, who he just fought, and I think they fought to a draw because Ian Cutelaba gassed himself trying to wreck him. Who got the win on that? It doesn't. Why is the UFC website straight up trash? Dustin Jacoby. I don't think he can be competitive at light heavyweight in the elite of the elite. I think he's a fringe, top guy. So it was a draw with Ian Kutala, but that wasn't that long ago. That was only May of last year. He's fought 4 since then. Yeah, I don't think he's ever cracking that top 15, and I don't think he could beat anyone in the top 15. But fair enough. Okay, no idea. Joey, can we agree that Feely is a good grappler, please? He's all right, man. He's all right. He's not that great. We ain't freeing nobody, brother. That dude who said you hate Bryce was joking. I don't think I took it really seriously. I just responded to it real quick. There's not a single fighter that I absolutely am like, oh, I love this fighter so much. And there's not really a single fighter that I say I hate so much. My most disliked fighter is probably TJ Dillashaw. Outside of that, my most liked fighter is probably Jose Aldo. I would say. That's what I'd probably go with. Other than that, for me, there's fighters that I like watching. And there's fighters that, I don't like their personality. They come off the wrong way. Or, they've cheated or something along those lines. So it's one of those things. But great performance by Colby tonight. Amazing performance by Colby tonight. I know a lot of people are going to say that Jorge's washed. I don't believe that. I think he's getting up there. I think he's slightly declined. But I think still Jorge Masvidal is a formidable foe. And Colby Covington went out there and dominated him for the most part for 4 out of 5 rounds. And the 5th round was very close, and Colby had some nasty moments in there. He was battering him on the feet, was battering him in the wrestling department. The cardio was unreal. The chin survived one big, massive right hand. Colby Covington did a great job tonight. Bryce Mitchell, Dos Anjos. I don't really care about Dos Anjos' win. I got to be completely honest. Dos Anjos is an absolute badass, willing to fight anyone at any time. But for me, Dos Anjos, the win doesn't mean a lot because it's a short notice Renato Moicano. Up in weight, coming off the couch. Doesn't mean a lot to me at all. As far as other takeaways, I'm just trying to think of anything else I really want to, say, and we'll get back to some questions. But Bryce Mitchell, super excited to see what lies ahead for him. To be quite honest, the featherweight division is a nasty division. I would love to see Bryce Mitchell challenged against somebody in that top 8 right now. I don't think they're going to match up with Giga. Maybe a Josh Emmett fight. I would love to see a Josh Emmett fight. I think that fight would be a lot of fun, and it'd be a nice little measuring stick. And then if you're able to beat a Josh Emmett, then he moves into a title eliminator, in my opinion. So UFC should throw Masvidal to another top fighter and get him to a lose streak and then ship him the fraud to Bellator. Okay? Bryce is not a weight bully, which means he's better than Islam in my book. Weight bully's up for interpretation. Give him Johnny Walker and boom, he's in the top 15. Colby's very overrated now, to be honest. Lost to Usman twice, beat Jorge, who we knew was overhyped. I don't know, because I don't feel like people's perception of him is super crazy. I think Colby is a great fighter, but I don't feel like there's people out there acting like he's a champion. I feel like most people would pick Khamzat over him. I feel like most people would pick Usman over him in the 3rd fight. So maybe I haven't seen what you've seen, but right now I'd say perception is on the level that I feel like is reasonable. Let's see who wins. Let's do a quick poll. Who wins? Colby Covington. Wait a second to vote because sometimes it glitches. So give it like 5 seconds to populate and then click on it after you're ready to vote. So weight bullies are ruining the sport. Changed my mind. I disagree. Did this fight help or hurt Moicano's career going forward? It hurt Moicano's career going forward. The damage he took is irreparable harm. The doctor, the ref, Mark Goddard, and the corner of Renato Moicano should be ashamed of themselves. And I don't think a few punches in a 5th round where, the commentary booth acted like it was some amazing, strikes, dictates that it wasn't a bad decision, which a lot of people will make it out to be. No, if weight bullies didn't exist, we wouldn't have exciting fights like Figgy and Costa. Is Marina Rodriguez the best male or female fighter to come off the Contender Series? Maybe the best female. I don't know about the best male. Best male, off the top of my head, maybe Jamal Hill, but maybe that's recency bias. But also, I'm very high on Giga, even with a loss to Cater. These matchmakers need to do better putting these badass strikers against wrestlers. It ruins our heroes. It would have been 10 times more hyped if he fought Nick Diaz. They hugged for 25 minutes. I have no desire to see Nick Diaz fight. Colby had very close with Usman, not overrated. Okay. Who do you think did better, Bryce or Colby? More dominant performance. It's got to be Bryce just because Colby got rocked. But, overall opponent, don't get me wrong, I'm high on Edson. But I was never as high on Edson as I was at Masvidal at one point in time. So I guess the Colby win's probably better, but Bryce definitely had a more dominant performance. I would even say Holland is a weight bully, okay? I think Walker versus Jacoby would be very interesting. It's better to keep throwing Walker out there to help grow the 2 to 5 rising prospects. Walker versus Hardy at heavyweight. Loser leaves town. Did you think Moicano had a chance in the last round? No, I think RDA was pulling punches. I really think he was pulling punches, and he almost he almost made a big mistake doing it. But it is what it is. I wish it would have got stopped earlier. Spivak looked good. He looked good, but it's against a guy like Greg Hardy, which I picked or would have picked had I done a video of it. But it is what it is. Why was the RDA 5 rounds instead of 3? It was a stupid decision by the UFC. Originally, 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to get RDA versus Rafael Fiziev in a 5-round main event. Fiziev had visa issues, so the fight had to be pushed back 2 weeks to UFC 272. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist because Fiziev got in on Tuesday of that week. So he still could have fought on that event. I think they needed something to kind of plump this UFC 272 fight card up. So they moved it to 272. Well, then Fiziev pulled out, but it was still a 5-round fight. So then Moicano stepped in and they kept it a 5-round fight. Incredibly stupid for a short notice fighter to come in and keep it 5 rounds. Also, Jorge looked better than I thought. He got up more times than I expected. Thought Colby was going to straight bully him easily. It's fair enough. Did you see the guy that fought Elliott was as big as Islam? Shameful. I did not notice that. I totally agree RDA was pulling punches. Whether he was pulling punches out of sorrow or he was pulling punches because of, he had put so much output that, maybe he was just tired of throwing punches, but he was definitely doing something there. I hope Moicano gains fans. Dude is a badass and has some potential. I agree, but it sucks. I think that he took a career-altering amount of damage tonight, and it was totally unnecessary. His corner should have protected him, the ref should have protected him, and the doctor should have protected him. The dude took entirely too much damage. Nobody would have complained if they would. I guess there would have been someone would have complained if they would have stopped the fight. So, let me X out of some of these tabs. Don't need this anymore. Guys, if you have any following, we went an hour. It's already been an hour. This post-fight has blown by. Did you speak on Bryce and then dominate him all fight? Yeah, I talked about it. I already talked about it. Great win by Bryce. I'm not going to be one of the people that say Edson's washed. I think he's definitely on the decline, but I don't think he's washed. And I can't wait to see Bryce fight a top contender. And I would like to see him against Brian Ortega, even though I know that fight's not going to happen. But that'd be a very interesting fight for Bryce Mitchell. So I don't know if you were being sarcastic there and you just wanted me to talk about it again. I don't mind getting fight picks wrong. I try to tell you guys if I'm confident on something or, if I'm not confident on something. And I felt very confident about the way this fight was going to come back, was going to play out. And I would never be salty about a bad pick. I apologize if you read it already, but do you think this fight helped or hurt Moicano's career going forward? I did read it, but it's no big deal. It hurt because he took irreparable amount of damage. I think that this slows him down. I think this puts him out for a while. And I think this is something that takes years off your life and also your career. So, it's not great. It's not great at all. Brazilians rather not fight each other, yes. Joey, who wins, Thiago or the Dagestani? Probably the Dagestani. But that's a tough fight. Both guys have nasty power. Joey, does nothing for him. Yeah, I think if you're talking about the loss itself, not the damage that he took, I guess the UFC now owes him a favor. But outside of that, I don't know. Just the damage, I think, damages his career going forward. I don't think it's great for him at all. It's actually quite sad because it should have been 3 rounds and we would have got to seen enough of it. We wouldn't have been confused at all. We wouldn't have needed to see any more. Bryce versus Edson was exactly the same as Bryce versus Rosa. Okay, fair enough. Didn't see. I'll check. Maybe same frame. They definitely walking around the same weight. Okay. Bryce body compared to Edson's body. Can't believe Bryce dominated him like that. That's not how fights work, though. It doesn't go off who's more muscular or who's not more muscular. Do we agree that Colby and Masvidal both looked out of shape? I don't know. Masvidal looked in better shape than he usually does, but neither one of those cardios looked great. But I almost wonder if it was because it was such a high-profile fight. Maybe they were both really stressed out just because they really wanted to win. And that kind of, I know they always really want to win, but this one, if it is personal, it could have an effect on their cardio. All right, Joey, look forward to your matchmaking videos as well as next week's prediction video. Saturday card is pretty rough. Had a good night, guys. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, throw them in there. We're going to get ready to end. I'm going to look forward to next week's card. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my goodness. Every time I load Tapology, I go to click on something, and the screen moves ever so slightly, and I click on an ad instead. So let's see. Next week, we have Santos versus Ankalaev, Moroz versus Song Yadong, Bruno Silva versus Alex Pereira, Alex Caceres versus Sadiq Youssef, Drew Dober, Terrence McKinney. This fight card's pretty damn good. Sabino Mozo versus Miranda Maverick, JJ Aldridge versus Jillian Robertson, Matt Semmelsberger versus AJ Fletcher. Not a bad fight. Damon Jackson versus Kamala Kirk. Tafan Inchui versus Azamat Murzaganov. Cody Brunage versus Dolce Lugimbula. Either way, I'll probably do 3 or 4 prediction videos for this card. Last chance for questions. Do not forget to like the stream. I'm going to read a couple more questions and then I'm going to get out of here and go to sleep. It is 2:30 a.m. If you have not liked the stream already, make sure to like the stream. Also, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe this very second. Also, all night tonight, we were messaging within the members only Discord. If you guys want to become a member, here's the link. It's also down in the description. You get a loyalty badge next to your name. You get a bunch of custom emojis, including Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, Dana, a bunch of stuff. So if you guys want to become a member, the link is in the description. We chat every day about MMA. Next week's card is, I think it's better. I think it's a decent fight night card. What should be the odds for Burns versus Chimaev? I think it should be pretty even. I think he was too gassed to pounce on him, to be honest. Yes. These welterweights love rocking people than just staring at him. Yeah, I think he was too tired. What does Colby need to fight for the title? He needs to win 2 more fights impressively against legit contenders. I don't know who that would be against, but maybe a Bilal Luque winner. Next, okay. Read that. 3 fights have my attention. Are you saying washed or wash? Washed. I mix them up, honestly. I think I like to say washed. Washed. It really is washed. But you get the point. Either way, I like to say washed. So there you go. Maybe it's my Baltimore accent. I see your messages, Faldy. So excited for Hamzat to smash Burns. I thought Jalen Turner was a bit of... Okay. Fair enough. Okay, guys. I think that does it for this post-fight. Thank you all for joining me. Hold on. Let's look at the poll question. 75% would pick Hamzat Chimaev over Colby Covington. So it is 2:30 a.m. or almost 2:30 a.m. where I'm at. I'm tired. We just did an hour and 6-minute post-fight show, live post-fight show. I appreciate you guys for joining me. I might, just maybe, do a whole pay-per-view live stream for UFC 273. Maybe. I might. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm going to think about it. But, guys, thanks for joining me. If you're watching the replay of this, comment down below and let me know you're watching it. If you have any questions, I'll answer them down there. Don't forget to like the stream. And, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Hopefully, I'll have a video out tomorrow about some matchmaking. I don't know for who yet, but just keep an eye out for that. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. We have a great night of fights, and see you guys later.